Well, good Tuesday evening, everyone. Todd Warren here on Facebook Live tonight with a live update. Again, this will be recorded and put on the KTAL Now app if you want to watch it on the big screen. Maybe see all the numbers a bit bigger. I try to post that as soon as time allows, so that'll be there within the weather section of the KTAL Now app that you can use on your streaming device on your TV. Meantime, coming up tonight, what we're going to be looking at is, again, a winter storm this weekend. Weather Service today did issue a winter storm watch for that will begin on Friday as we're looking at things starting to go downhill over the northern sections of the ArkLaTex, probably Friday afternoon, maybe a little bit sooner as the colder air begins to move in. I'll show you the details on how temperatures will drop heading through Friday night, and Saturday with the model blend numbers and futurecasts. Obviously, the latest on how much accumulation we'll see of snow, ice, and sleet, and pretty much where we will see each. It does appear as if we'll see mainly ice south, say half of the area, and ice, sleet, snow, with more snow over the northern edge of the ArkLaTex. So again, I'll show you all that coming up. After this is over, it's looking as if we will stay below freezing longer now, which is not good, reminiscent of Snowmageddon back in 2021. And again, we'll with the look at the accumulations, again, back in 2000, some of you mentioned last night the ice storm of Christmas ice storm of 2000. I looked back at exactly the accumulations, and basically the northwestern, say half of the area, got up to an inch of ice accumulation. So I'll show you how close we could get to that or even exceed it coming up. So if you have a question or a comment, feel free to ask away. If you just want to say hello, Todd, that's great too. As usual, we like to start things by saying our hellos. So who is first? As usual, again, tonight it is Brian. Gary, hello. Rusty, good evening to you. Lewis, good evening. I'm going to show you those numbers here in a second, Lewis. I pretty much was already addressed. I'm going to answer that question here. Again, the accumulations back then were up to an inch. And just the description that the Weather Service wrote back then, it's hard to believe it's been a quarter of a century ago, stated that at one point almost all of Texarkana was without power. So let's hope that doesn't repeat itself. Dylan, hello. Christian, every day is a weather-ready day for me, Christian. Really, if I say it is or not, does it really make that much difference? It's going to be significant. I think icing is my really big concern. Dylan, actually a little bit of both. We probably will see more like 2000 here and more like 2021 up north with maybe a little bit less snow. So to answer your question, Mitch, hello. Eric, 50 degrees now in Colbert, Oklahoma, west of the ArkLaTex. Aaron, hello there up in Wright City. Misty, good evening to you. Let's see. I probably just will stay a winter storm warning, Lewis. They changed all the different categories last year, I think it was. So really, we're going to get a lot of ice. Let's just put it that way, which would be included in winter storm warning. Kim, hello. Sue, greetings. Let's see. Hey, Linda, how's it going? I'm glad you're getting ready. I'm going to be doing some of my preparations tomorrow to make sure my wife is ready to handle things in my absence in case we do lose power. So anyway, let's get going as we've gone through the hellos. A quick review of today. Made it to 58 degrees this afternoon in Shreveport, 56 in Texarkana, 58 degrees also was the high in Marshall. We're going to be watching a cold front which is going to slide its way into the area. You can see some of the precipitation up to the north. That frontal system will move into the area tomorrow. And again, later on tonight, we will very quickly see some scattered showers develop across the area. Here's that front, and you can see how quickly it's going to progress its way towards the south and how the rain will develop out ahead of it later on tonight. And then you can see this first front moves through. The next area of low pressure develops, and you can see how it's going to take a course which is going to be to the south of the ArkLaTex. And anytime we see an area of low pressure in the Gulf in the winter and it's cold, you have to be concerned, because that's usually where the low sits when we're going to get some snow. But in this point in instance, it looks like the air above us is going to be too warm. So we probably will end up with, again, that mixed bag that we've been talking about for the last couple of days. And you can see how things will take place. Again, blues here is snow. The pinks is a mix, probably sleet, some freezing rain up across the northern part of the area. And I'm going to show you a closer look at this with temperatures here in a second. You can see that low moving across the northern Gulf. And you can see, too, how that snow sleet line really doesn't move that much to the south, even though the air is going to be getting colder in the lowest levels. And that is about as far out as Futurecast goes. Let's see. I'm glad you liked it, Christian. Thanks for the comment. I'm glad you made it too, Meredith. I'm glad you made it. Let's see. Brian, hello. I really wish it would too. We'll see. Keep your fingers crossed, Brian. Our really biggest hope is that we get more snow than ice, but I'm not holding my breath on that at this point. Jane, hello. Ginger, hello to you. All right, let's give you a closer look at Futurecast, and you can see the scattered showers on the way tonight. Everything shifts to the south tomorrow as that front makes its way through the area. A few rumbles of thunder will be possible tomorrow, but nothing really as far as storms or anything like that. We'll take a break from the rain for most of tomorrow night, and Futurecast kind of keeping us dry and cloudy for Thursday. Notice Thursday night, the rain begins to develop over the northern sections of the area, and you can see how this will play out. We very well could see the changeover up north to that winter mix in these areas of pinks, and you can see that will gradually spread to the south. And then we're looking at the rounds of winter mix here heading through Saturday, and that's pretty much the timing. It starts to change over Friday. We'll see it that changeover complete itself, at least to winter precipitation Friday night. All day Saturday, we're going to be looking at periods of mainly freezing rain and some sleet, maybe a little bit of snow over the northern edge of the area. So this is what we're looking at. Again, the ice, snow, sleet mix north. And the farther north you live, say closer to the Queen, Broken Bow, Dirks, that part of the ArkLaTex stands the chance of seeing a bit more snow mixing in with the sleet and some ice too. Further to the south, we're looking at mainly ice. Now, the models are somewhat split. The majority of them are showing mainly freezing rain. The GFS that you'll see is much colder than the rest, so it has more frozen precipitation in its forecast, and not really a whole lot of freezing rain in our area, but the majority of the models showing mainly ice. No matter what falls, travel is going to become very hazardous, starting in the north, perhaps as soon as late during the afternoon Friday, and then Friday night further to the south. And it's going to stay that way through the weekend. Maybe a little bit of improvement Monday with some sun, and then we'll really start to clean things up Tuesday. Again, it does look possible we could see some significant ice. Whenever we see the ice, when I show you those accumulation numbers, remember 1/4 of an inch is the threshold where we start to see problems with power. So keep that number in mind. And that being said, power outages will be possible. I almost wrote likely in there, but it's only Tuesday. We'll see if we have any changes in the outlook. All right, here is another look at Futurecast, but this one has the temperatures over the top. Again, the rain and precipitation is from Futurecast because it shows more detail than the model blend, but the temperatures are coming from the model blend. All right, so you can see how this could play out Friday. Notice we're in the mid to upper 40s, East Texas, Northwest Louisiana, close to 40 north. We start to cool off up north as we head into the afternoon. By 5 p.m., we'll be pretty close to freezing. As we approach freezing, probably we'll start to see some sleet mixed in with the rain, okay? Further to the south, doesn't look like we may see a whole lot of precipitation if this run of Futurecast is correct Friday afternoon. And it does appear as if we may stay in the upper 30s, several degrees above freezing. It does appear that we could dip close to freezing during the mid-evening hours along I-20, say 8, 9, 10 o'clock. And then obviously notice what the temperatures do for the rest of Friday night, as we will likely dip into the teens and low 20s over the northern sections of the area, and then mainly mid to upper 20s further to the south. It does appear, now notice too up here up north where the blue is, that's all snow. Probably a snow sleet mix here. And then down here, we're probably going to be looking at freezing rain mixed in with a little bit of sleet. So that's what it looks like heading through Saturday morning. And notice during the day Saturday, we really don't rise any. In fact, we could actually fall a few more degrees. So, and you can also see a little bit more snow over the northwestern edge of the area. So pretty much socked in with the ice all day on Saturday. East Texas, northwest Louisiana, some sleet mixed in. Again, a mixture of sleet, snow, and some freezing rain up north. More snow as you move up into the northern edge of the ArkLaTex. So that's what it looks like as far as temperatures and how they're not going to help matters any. And you probably have heard about how we're treating the roads. When it's 20 degrees, salt really doesn't do much good. So expect roads to be very, very hazardous during the day on Saturday, Saturday night, and probably Sunday as well. I'm hoping we see some sun on Sunday to late in the day, but I'm not betting the house that we'll see any. All right, here's a look at accumulation. And this is the latest from the blend of models, the most likely scenario. All right, so you can see, remember that 1/4 of an inch number I pointed out? Notice the darkest purple here. The model blend showing a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of ice accumulation will be possible. So again, that's a lot. And again, we approached an inch back in 2000. So this could be very similar to the ice storm in 2000 if we do get, again, the amount of freezing rain that's anticipated. Now, as we look at this, it's still only Tuesday, folks. And again, there's a very fine line here between snow, sleet, freezing rain. So some adjustment to these numbers still could happen, and dramatic adjustments if the models trend either warmer or colder. Snow, again, most likely scenario. Notice you get into that 3-inch plus range up over the northern part of the area. I think a lot of this is going to be sleet. But notice that we do have that possibility for more than 4 inches, especially northern McCurtain County. All right, further to the south, again, I really don't anticipate seeing much snow at all. East Texas, northwest Louisiana. This mainly would be sleet if we have any frozen precipitation accumulation. All right, so again, I would say at this point, a good 2 to 4 inches, a good solid bet. I-30 and points north, maybe an inch, 2 inches as you get close to the Arkansas line, and probably closer to an inch further to the south. Here is this is the scary graphic to me. The European model kicking out some very scary numbers as far as freezing rain accumulation. And you can see the green numbers, what I just showed you. Notice the 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, middle of the ArkLaTex, actually southern 2/3 of the area. But the red numbers, and let me go back to the snow graphic here first of all. And oops, I didn't get to it. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry about that. I thought I had already shown this regarding snow, but this is freezing rain. The green numbers are most likely. The red numbers are the worst case scenario. Monoblend kicks out probabilities of seeing how much. There's a 10% chance we will see at least the red numbers. Is that going to happen? Probably not, but it is something to be aware of as a possibility. So again, it's looking very promising. We'll get that 1/2 inch of ice accumulation, and it very well could be more than an inch. All right, let's go to snow. And again, the green numbers most likely notice that if the atmosphere turns out to be colder, deeper, as I explained last night, we will get more snow. So basically the range here north 3 to 8 inches will be possible. High end, 6, 7, 8 inches, probably closer to 3, 4 in southwest Arkansas, I-30 and points north. And you can see it is possible we could get that 3 to 5 in East Texas and Northwest Louisiana, but the chances are looking very slim at this point. All right, let's move on and see what who else has chimed in here. More sleet to freezing. What's the best chance for, in terms of cold air arriving early, to be more sleet than freezing rain? The worst case arrival there to be. Well, Chris, right now it looks like it's mainly going to be ice in Jefferson. You're far enough to the south, and you can see the differences there between Linden and Marshall in terms of the snow, not that high. You can see also, too, in terms of freezing rain. So it's mainly going to be freezing rain. The main thing is, again, the thickness of the colder air. The European has not budged as far as the rain snow line, in other words, where we change over to all snow. There's that transitions zone. It has a very narrow band of sleet and then mainly freezing rain further to the south. That is probably the worst case scenario that we could see. I'm hoping we get some more sleet mixed in that would kind of basically reduce the amount of icing that we see. Tammy, greetings. Maddie. And again, we could see a repeat of that, Maddie, as I mentioned earlier. Kayla, in southwest Arkansas, it's going to be raining all day. We'll probably start to see the changeover, or at least some winter mixed in, maybe a little bit of sleet during the afternoon. It's kind of hard to pinpoint an exact hour. Sometime during the middle of the afternoon, maybe, perhaps early afternoon. Sometime in the afternoon is what we're looking at as far as when the transition to winter precipitation will begin. Again, Friday you'll start off in the 40s. You'll be close to freezing by 5 o'clock, at least as far as Texarkana is concerned. Bonnie, greetings. Donnell? Yes, Donnell, you're going to get everything. You will get more snow than we do in Shreveport. But again, let me show you the numbers here from the various models. And you can kind of see this is regarding snow. And it's going to be a funny looking graphic because the GFS just went ballistic with the morning run. And it was actually worse in the afternoon run. And you can see it's off the charts. GFS this morning showed 16 inches of snow in DeQueen. I think it had 11, if memory serves me correctly, in Texarkana. Could that happen? Sure. We're going to have a lot of moisture, but the majority of the models are not, as you can see here. Here's the evidence. The majority are not nearly as thick and you can see how the Canadian shuts off the snow at I-30. Doesn't show hardly anything in Texarkana. So again, the European does have some. Notice it is more aggressive up towards DeQueen, a little bit in Texarkana, and not much East Texas and Northwest Louisiana. So yeah, that's as I mentioned, that is a funny looking graphic with the. I left it that way just to show the difference. In other words, the GFS is showing 3 times more snow in DeQueen than the second widest model, so to speak. Glenda, hello. Lewis. I did look at the winds, so probably around 10, maybe I have 10 to 15. So it doesn't look, obviously that could be enough to cause some movement, especially when you got a lot of weight on it. It won't help, I'll put it that way. Lewis, that's a good question. But it's not going to be as windy as we've seen at times recently. Snow, Ronnie, snow, yes. It could be tricky on the way home Friday as far as travel. It'll be going downhill for you folks in the northern part of the area. Here, probably going to be during the night, Friday night. So there you have it. All right, I think it's getting late, so it's about time for me to wrap things up. Again, my level of concern here, 7 out of 10. I'm somewhat concerned about the possibility for some power outages across the area. Again, if memory serves me correctly, we had over 100,000 back in 2000 without power. So a big player in how high that number goes will be how Shreveport is impacted, obviously, given the higher population here. But again, back in 2000, most of Texarkana was without power at some point at one time. So yeah, that's going to be my biggest concern. And another concern is the length of the cold. We will drop below freezing here in Shreveport probably Friday evening. We probably will not rise above freezing until Monday afternoon if we make it there Monday. That's not yet set in stone. And you can kind of see this with a look at temperatures in the longer range. The European ensembles, again, they're not as cold as the GFS ensembles. Show us, again, a little bit warmer. I think we will be in the 20s both Saturday and Sunday. Maybe upper 30s. Take a look at the GFS numbers here, and you can see slightly above freezing Monday, and then we gradually warm up. So it's probably going to be Tuesday before we see some improvement Monday and a little bit more improvement Tuesday, especially when the sun comes out starting on Monday. And another key here is the lows at night. Models, most of them have been trending colder, so we will be well into the teens for a couple of nights here, especially northern part of the area. Could have some single digits for nighttime lows early next week in that part of the area. So here is my forecast for tonight, looking at some rain moving in late. You can see the lows above normal in the low to middle 40s, 46 tonight in Shreveport, 43 in Texarkana. Tomorrow, periods of rain, again, maybe a half an inch to an inch all total from tonight through tomorrow night. Highs tomorrow pretty close to where they were today in the 50s. And here's my 10-day forecast, and you can see the temperatures. Friday morning in Shreveport, we start off at 49, we drop to 39. By Saturday morning, we're down to 28, we drop to 23 during the day. By Sunday morning, we're down to 18. We do manage to make it close to 30. We drop back to the teens Sunday night, and then finally above freezing Monday and well above freezing for the rest of next week. Fortunately, nothing more as far as precipitation on the way for the rest of next week. Well, that will officially do it for me tonight, folks. As always, I appreciate you tuning in. I will be back tomorrow night with a live update and a new set of numbers from the model blend. Those most likely and worst case numbers will be coming in any moment now. I will share those during the second main weather on Fox 33 at 9, and of course during main weather tonight at 10 on NBC 6. So until tomorrow night, stay dry tomorrow and get ready for another round of wintry weather this weekend. Good night.